Good afternoon, BookTube. This is Bill Ruttenberg with the Ruttenberg Library. Come to you for a Friday Reads this afternoon, and it's been a hectic week at our house. Haven't gotten any videos done in several days, a few days anyway. And I thought I'd come to you, give you a Friday Reads, and maybe a preview on a couple other videos I'm going to do. Been a little bit busy, even though that we've been stuck at home with everything going on around the nation. We had bad news yesterday with Governor Reynolds coming on the TV. I mean, it was kind of expected news, but our stay-at-home deal has been extended to April 30th. We were gonna April 13th was our go back to school day, and that got changed to it has to be after April 30th. And I think that's for the rest of the state as well, and in all the other businesses. And it's probably for the best, though, keep everybody safe and healthy, and just try to limit all the contact with the people. But I tell you what, it's just driving me crazy not getting to see my kids at school, and we would be starting into our Civil War unit, or the build up to the Civil War, with my 8th grade, which is my favorite unit to do all year. And I'm struggling with having to stay at home and not being able to do that face-to-face time with the kids as much as what we would have been doing if we were in school. But anyway, with that being said, we have gotten after I got my school work done in the mornings, my wife's put me to work in the afternoons, and we've gotten lots of little things done around the house, and got to get the yard mowed up, and that was nice. And in the afternoon, I've been able to take the dog for a walk, and that's been nice, and take my 3-year-old for a walk, and that's been nice. And so I've thoroughly enjoyed that part of it. But by the same token, I'd rather be in school with the kids. As much as I like all that stuff, I do like my job. But anyway, one of the big projects that we got done yesterday, we got it not finished, I guess, because I'm still surrounded by stuff. You can't see it, but off camera I've got some totes and stuff. We're rearranging things around the house, and good news, the upper room upstairs that I talk about a lot with where most of my books are located, it has been opened up, folks, and I am going to be able to do several shelf tours here in the next, in the coming weeks. I'll be able to do a lot of those, trying to get things straightened up a little bit just before I do those. But I don't know if you guys noticed, Mark over at Richardson's Reads, he did a bookshelf cleaning thing. I think I'm going to have to do that same thing, because we've got some dust that has accumulated in some of those shelves. But I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get some shelf tours done. So I'm looking forward to that. This week in reading, I didn't get any books finished, but I am in the middle of 3 different bigger books. It's going to be probably another week and a half before I get them done, but they are very, very good books. But what I did get done is an audio book. I listened to the audio book, not a narrative. I listened to the audio book, the autobiography of Ben Franklin. That's what I listened to. And I have the book upstairs, but for whatever reason, I just kept putting it off on reading it. And so I got it on my iPad, and while I was doing dishes in the morning, I would turn that on, and I eventually got that finished, and that was really good. It wasn't a whole lot new. It's basically any biographer of Ben Franklin has used his autobiography to help them write the biography. So it wasn't really nothing new, but it's kind of nice listening to it in Ben Franklin's voice. Or what he wrote down. That was kind of nice to listen to. It was kind of very, very interesting from his perspective. Right now I'm also working on another audio book, and now I'm struggling to remember the name of it. It just came out I think it was last year, maybe the year before that. It's a pretty new book, and I was listening to that, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know that it's something I would highly recommend, but it's not bad. Just I don't know if I'd highly recommend it. But some of the books that I am reading right now, that I'm right in the middle of, I got onto my TBR list and picked a couple of them off from this year's TBR list. The Political Life of Abraham Lincoln, a Self-Made Man, 1809 to 1849. I got that started, and as you can see, I am 100 pages or so in. It's a bigger book. I also have The Impending Crisis, 1848 to 1861 by David Potter. And again, I'm just over, 120 pages in on this one. And then I got to listening to Steve Donahue, and he was talking about one of my favorite books, The Kent Family Chronicles, Volume 1 from John Jakes. And I just thoroughly enjoyed those books. I loved them. They got me in my adult life, got me back into reading again. And so I picked off the shelf, because I'm obviously, as you can see, I'm in a Civil War mood. I picked off the shelf his book, Charleston. And that's a really good book. I am, 124 pages in on that. It's a very good book. It starts in the Revolution and takes the Bell family through the Revolution and then through the early 1800s into the Civil War. And they just finished the Revolution in the book, and the plot is very well established, and it's a very good book, fast paced. I'll talk about that when I get it finished, but that's a good read. Those three books are the ones that I am deep into, and my plan is when I get finished with those, I have two books I would like to pick up. All right, I'd like to pick up this. Three books. Excuse me. I would like to read John Keegan's Civil War, okay, the American Civil War. And I would also like to read American Ulysses, A Life of Ulysses Grant by Ronald C. White. And then I have a book upstairs that I'm going to probably try to get into on Stonewall Jackson, one of my favorite generals to read about and learn about. Just a awesome field general, being right in the heat of the battle. And I'm looking forward. I've never read an adult full-length biography on him, and I finally got it a couple years ago, and I just haven't got to it. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, I've got this time. I'm going to use this time to read it. And so those are my plans. So when I get done with this video, I am going to do the middle grade book tag. And that's that tag I'm going to do, like I said, just in a minute when I get done with this. And I'm hoping to have a little bit of fun with that. And now that I have uncovered some of my books upstairs, I can actually show you some of these middle grade books that this book tag is about. And then last on my list for this week, as far as videos that I'm planning on, I have an original that I think I'm going to make, or that I've established some questions, and I think I'm going to shoot the video. It's going to be the Civil War book tag. I need to double check again. I've checked three times to make sure that nobody else has done a tag like this. I need to double check again, and triple check, quadruple check, whatever. I need to check again just to make sure nobody else has done it. But I hope to put up a Civil War book tag, and because I love reading about the Civil War, and I'm always looking for more books about the Civil War, other ideas for different reads. But anyway, that is my life at this point. I think I shared with you my little 2-year-old turned 3. She's now my 3-year-old, and my oldest girl is still working at the shop that she works at, and my wife is still giving me tasks to do while I'm home. But anyway, that's my life in a nutshell for my Friday reads. I hope, BookTube, I hope this video finds you healthy, wealthy, and wise. So until next time, have a great day.